For my marine choice project, I decided to do it on the great white shark. I chose this animal because how unique it is to other types of marine life that live across all the oceans. Um, Learning more about the great white shark was very interesting because I always found the great white sharks to be a cool animal, like in a way. I know that sounds silly, but I mean it's true. They look stupid cool, if you know what I mean. But I mean, I just did not know all the personal facts about them, and this project really helped me understand like all the ins and outs about this fish. So starting off with classifications, I found the great white sharks different names, kingdom, family, and its genus species. For its names, this type of shark is called the great white shark, white pointer, white death, and mango tanawa. The mango tanawa is just the Polynesian name for the great white shark, so it's just the translation. Um, so next for the kingdom, the great white shark is in the Animalia kingdom, which just means the animal kingdom. Um, the family it's in is called the Lamnidae, which consists of all the mackerel sharks in the ocean and in the oceans, I should say. And the great white shark is considered a mackerel shark. Um, and lastly, for the genus species, the great white sharks are classified in the Carcharodon genus species, and you could find mostly all the sharks in the Lamnidae family in this genus species. Um, so moving on to the environment they live in, the great white sharks live in mostly all the oceans, but they preferably want to live in the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. In the Atlantic, the sharks tend to live from the top of Maine all the way down to the Caribbean. In the Pacific, they live from close to Alaska to somewhere close to Hawaii in that range. Um, the temperature of the water is really important to these fish because they really prefer to live in warmer and subtropic temperatures. So when the seasons start to change and the oceans become cooler, they tend to migrate to warmer parts of the ocean. So if you, for example, if you find great white sharks living in the Jersey Shore for the summer, and then it starts turning to it starts turning like November, December. It's getting colder. Those sharks will start moving. We'll say they'll move south to where the warmer water is. Um, for the physical appearance, the great white sharks has a lot of unique physical appearances compared to many other types of sharks. The first thing is their color. The top of them looks pretty normal. Like it's just a boring color, just a dark shade of gray. Like you can find many other sharks like that. But what makes them interesting is their lower body, like they're near their stomach. Um, their entire lower body is completely white, hence the name great white shark. Um, I think this is the most interesting thing about this species because they were given the name strictly because of the color of their underbody, like of their stomach. I think that's pretty funny, but also really cool. Um, so for their teeth, they are triangular shape, and this helps with like their chewing and when they want to hunt something or yeah, just stuff like that. And they have a total of 300 teeth in their mouth, but they don't tend to use all of them. They don't really need to. Um, and also their bottom jaw, like their bottom row of teeth, are much more narrow than their top teeth. Their top teeth are much I don't want to say fatter, but they're bigger. If you know what I mean. Moving on to like their size and weight. Um, when comparing their total size to other types of sharks, great white sharks are well above average. Like their estimated size range are from about 14 to 18 feet, when the average size shark is about 5 to 7 feet. So you could say that the great white shark is three times three times more bigger than like the average size shark. And then similar to the size, the great white shark's weight is well above average as well. Yeah, their weight can range from about 1,500 to 4,000 pounds. Um, Next is the great white shark's diet and the reproduction. Um, the great white shark's diet mostly like consist of marine mammals, and these marine mammals are most like this is what they mostly eat. Um, the seals and sea lions. But sometimes, if they can, like if they're floating around and they just stumble across them, great white sharks will scavenge on dead whales' bodies. But they will not try and eat they will not try to eat they will not try and prey on them if they are alive, the whales, because I mean they're too big for them. They would get outnumbered. Um, and for the reproduction, we do when we discuss about great white sharks reproducing, it's tough to talk about because we don't really know much about how they do it in a way, other than the process is ovoviviparous. I'm sorry, I completely butchered that, but it just means that the great white shark's babies hatch from eggs. So like similar to many other fish. But yeah, I did tried finding other things. It was basically just saying that they hatch from eggs. We don't really know much more about how they reproduce, only how their babies hatch. Um, Last thing is the great white shark's survivability rate, or how they survive. It has been studied that the great white sharks has a high survivability rate because of multiple reasons. They are not endangered, not hunted very often, I should say, and they're seen as just hostile. I don't want to say predators, but they're very hostile. Um, so I mean, great white sharks. I looked it up. That great white sharks are hunted in, like sometimes like in like small civilizations, but I mean, it's not going to endanger the total population of great white sharks because they're I don't know if worldwide's the right answer, but they are global. um, and even though they mostly only eat marine mammals, like I said, they can eat on fish, which makes them look like a predator, a threat or a predator to other animals living in the ocean, which is why they get left alone a lot. Thank you.